Thank you for joining me here today. We're at Oulu Metosin office, and Martin just told me last night that, Tony, you forgot to add your own opinion about the conference. And I was like, damn, that's true. I didn't even realize that. I spent 10 hours of editing 2.5 hours of materials into a 35-minute clip for you people, and I just forgot myself, even though I was behind the computer all the time. But that's what you get when you get into something and you forget that somebody might actually want to know what you think. But here are my 2 cents. I really enjoyed the final keynote by Eric Norman, and I want to thank Arne for putting this all together and providing us the experience that we just had. And by putting out this video, I hope that you people who could not get there can get some glimpse and sense of the atmosphere that we had in Leuven, Belgium last week. So without further ado,
let's do one more round of applause for the person that's worked so hard to bring us all together and cause so many learning moments, so many awesome things. Here is Arne.
My name is Arne Brasseur. We are in Leuven, a smaller city in Belgium, a university town, and we're here at Heart of Clojure.
So the conference just ended. The last talk was there like 5 minutes ago.
Wow! What a conference. Thank you, everyone. So Heart of Clojure is a Clojure conference, but it's a little different from most tech conferences. In multiple ways, it's a bit of a special format, and we try to create a certain atmosphere. We got extremely lucky with the weather, because like a week ago, it was chilly, it was cold. It was like, oh, winter's setting in. And now look at this. It's because Heart of Clojure we did it once before. Maybe people should know that, like this, we did it 5 years ago. And we at that point, we did not make any promises about if we would ever be back. But I did say, it's not going to be next year. If we come back, it's going to be at least 2 years. I love doing this. I love bringing the people together. I love the impact that this can have, people meeting each other, and it really reverberates in the community. But it's a lot of work. And there's a lot of other stuff I'm also still doing, so I can't do this every year. So then, like 2 years passed, and we talked about it next summer. Some other stuff going on next summer, and then COVID happened. From the beginning, I knew it should be a summer conference. I really wanted this thing, just like this. And so the first time we did it in August, but this time we were a little late with the organization, and also with the venue, we had certain constraints. So it shifted a little bit into September. But we still got summer weather.
The weather is beautiful.
Yeah.
Have you had any time to see any talks, or are you just running around and trying to make sure that everything is organized perfectly and everybody's happy?
I saw the opening keynote by Lou, who I personally picked and invited, and I'm so happy we did. I've been asking people what their personal highlight of the conference was, and multiple people have said Lou's talk. So I'm glad I saw that in person. We have 2 venues. So we're here at Hall 5, which is sort of, the community space. We also call it a reified hallway track. It's a little bit of an in-joke. Clojure people love to use the word reify. That basically means to make something a thing of its own. And so this is the reified hallway track. Usually on a conference, you have a hallway track where people just gather and chat, they just hang outside of the room where the talks are going on. But so we have a dedicated space where people can just hang around and talk and meet each other, because that's ultimately, to me, what a conference is about. The talks are here to inspire people and to create a shared experience, so that you have something that to start a conversation. You saw the same talk, what did you think of it? And to bring people here, because if we didn't have talks, we wouldn't sell any tickets. But it's not about the talks, it's about the people, and it's about meeting people. And so we have now the second space. We do workshops here and all kinds of activities. We have lunch here. And so I've mostly been here just helping to run this space, because this is also where more stuff needs to happen. It's the other place we pay a bit more and most stuff is handled by the venue staff. This is really an empty box, which I really like. It means we can make it really a thing of our own, but it's a bit more work to manage it all. So I've mostly been here, but I've been really happy. I've been talking to a lot of people, and everyone's happy.
There are a lot of great people here.
I'm Theodor. I'm from Norway.
I'm Jack. I'm here from Berlin today.
Yep.
Nice to see you guys here. How's the conference treating you so far?
Oh, it's been great. You know, Arne puts on a fantastic conference. The last Heart of Clojure was great, and this one also very, very good.
Yeah, I felt like just setting the stage to the collaborative theme that Lou kind of encouraged was really nice, because I wasn't kind of expecting that. I was expecting more like emphasis on the programming side, but I think that kind of starting with "we were here to learn" really was a great way to kick it off.
So what we were just talking about, you know, it's a perennial conversation in the Clojure community about how to make the language more popular. And I think one of the things is that the people who've been in the community for some time are the sorts of people who are naturally curious and interested in mastering the tools, you know. But there are significantly more people who are in a different position, where they simply have a problem they need to solve. And people in that position, I think, are somewhat failed by an ecosystem and a community that says, here are 50 decisions you have to make before you can start. If you're a non-expert, what are you going to do? You're going to go and ask some questions, you're going to get discouraged, you're going to go use Django to solve your problem, or Ruby on Rails to solve your problem. So I think if we do want greater adoption, we need to make some things that are not only simple but also easy, and that are very inviting for people whose boss needs them to get something done this week. You know.
I'm LVH. I'm one of the founders of Latacora.
And I'm Xavier. I'm an engineer at Latacora.
So we're here with Latacora, and we're here with Clojures Together. So I'm the founder of Latacora. I'm also the founder and president of Clojures Together, although Daniel Compton gets all of the credit there. Clojures Together is an organization that helps fund open source projects in the Clojure ecosystem, and I think with a sort of particular focus on the commons that otherwise would get unmanaged. Good examples there are Michiel Borkin, so like Babashka, the SCI, that entire ecosystem, things like Cider, Calva, etc. Like these are things that on the one hand, paradoxically, everybody uses them, and then also because everybody uses them, sort of like nobody's focused on them, nobody really specific, and so we want to make sure that those things are maintained, because of course, if Cider is really good, if Babashka is really good, then CLJ Kondo is really good, everybody wins. Right, we're a trade association, is I believe the correct technical term, is like special type of nonprofit, and we take money from organizations in the Clojure community, including Latacora, including Metosin, your employer, and then we go find good places to put it to work.
What was the highlight of the conference?
Ooh, highlight of the conference. I liked that Wendy was having some AV issues, because tech is hard. And
That's your highlight. Somebody had
No, wait. Because I've seen her come so far, and to struggle like that, and we've all been through so many experiences, and I was like, no, notes, just do it. And she did beautifully. And I'm so impressed with her ability to just roll with it. And that was the highlight, to see her still just roll on without her notes in slay. You know, she had the answers within her heart already. So that was cool to see.
So what was your role here today, or this week?
So I've been an Orga member for the last little bit, and I was the host and MC, and I guess production manager, stage manager, for making sure that things go well. Making sure everybody had their mics on, and all the speakers are there, and integrating, because I do AV stuff, so liaison between them. The glue work for the stage. That was my job.
What was the highlight of the conference?
The highlight? Well, it was just really relaxing. I totally enjoyed the whole atmosphere, you know. So I wouldn't pick out like a concrete thing, but perhaps if you really point me to something, then Lou was really the talk. I really enjoyed that one because it was a great opening for that you should have no fear and just really get going.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Taylor. I work at Juxt on the XTDB database. Yeah, so Juxt has been going for over a decade now. So John and Malcolm, the founders, worked separately, different investment banks doing Clojure, and then they realized, we're both quite enjoying this Clojure thing, like why don't we try and do more Clojure? So they joined forces and set up a consultancy based in the UK. So I gave a talk earlier today on richer SQL, which is a way of framing what we've been doing with XTDB in terms of, I guess, a lot of the ideas that Rich Hickey came up with in light of Datomic and pushed with Datomic over a decade ago now. And we've taken some of those ideas and have embodied them or embraced them in a SQL dialect, which we wanted to present with the Clojure community and get some feedback and reactions. And I came here and I delivered.
Hi, my name is Daniel Shmulevitz. I'm enjoying Heart of Clojure 2024. I was here 5 years ago as well. It was an incredible conference, so friendly, amazing venue. Kudos to the organization, and this year they just made it even better. So that's incredible. Now you have a back and forth, very nice, between the venue, her depot, and HAL 5. So it makes this whole environment very dynamic. You just go there, and there are lots of activities. I had a talk yesterday. I gave a talk on the foundations of Lisp. It's called Shoulders of Giants, or uncovering the foundations of Lisp. I worked on this talk for some time. Actually, it's a talk that I had prepared 5 years ago, and I was a backup speaker, so I would have intervened if somebody had a problem 5 years ago. But luckily for everyone, there was no such need, and I got my chance this year.
How have you enjoyed the conference so far?
A lot better than I expected coming here because I live in Chicago, and man, international travel is, so I'm originally from Belgium, and I actually went to university here in Leuven. Leuven is a big college town, so it's really nice to, it's like I haven't really been here more than once in 20 years. So it's really, really nice just to see a bunch of people, and Heart of Clojure is just such a, it's very hard to describe, but Heart is a very good name. It's just such a chill, relaxed, everybody's nice. It's just so, it's just a fantastic conference so far.
Yeah, I've enjoyed answering two questions. First question is, what is Latticore? And the second question is, why do you use Clojure? Or what does Clojure have to do with a security company? So that's been a trip, for sure.
You want to answer these questions?
Yeah, of course. So Latticore is a retained security company for startups. Startup typically doesn't have the funding to hire 20 different security engineers to do things like application security, corporate security, infrastructure security, all that jazz, right? So what we do at Latticore is we have such a team, and we work with a number of different startups to both help them answer all of their security needs, but also help them develop security programs that mean that hopefully they grow and one day they no longer need us because they're able to do security themselves. And then the second question that always comes up is Clojure. So while we're a security company, I'd say most people have a strong software development background, and we also do a lot of data transformation, ingesting a bunch of data from different data sources, and Clojure is great at handling that data, normalizing it, allowing us to query it. So that's why 90% of our software development now is in Clojure.
And you guys are here to speak, both of you.
That's right.
Well, I'm doing a workshop. I'm just
helping other people learn.
Trying to engage with the audience and build something together. And hopefully we'll all learn something.
What is the workshop about?
It's about Babeshka, which is a standalone binary for scripting Clojure programs, which starts fast and doesn't use a lot of memory and doesn't use the JVM, so you can use it for bash-like scripting.
Cool.
Did you have a full house there?
Yeah, actually, I'm doing the workshop together with Theodore and Christian, and we were supposed to do one workshop, but it's sold out quickly, so we're doing a second one.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Very popular. But Bashka is really cool. I use it for scripting now instead of Bash. because with Bash, I guess I never learned it enough. I always had to look everything up. Like if I wanted to do a for loop, it's like, how do I do that again?
Or a nested if or something.
Oh gosh, like a fi to end my thing. Like, oh, you put a semicolon on the wrong line and it breaks. I'd much rather write it in Clojure.
Me too.
Hi, this is Ivo. I'm working for Flexiana. I do business development. We're having a great time this couple of days. Awesome conference, great talks, great organization, and we met some new faces. Also, were able to catch up with some old faces here with our friends from Metosin.
So Kimmo, how's it going?
Yeah, it's great. Lots of discussions. I think my voice will be like really kaput tomorrow, but nice time. Yeah.
You had a good time?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people, even from like past conferences, coming to say hi. So kind of trying to have to remember faces and names.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, but it was cool. Yeah.
Pekka?
Yeah, it's been awesome, and talked to a lot of people, had interesting discussions, so lots of very interesting presentations. I need to revisit many of them
later on
when they appear online. So yeah, awesome.
So yeah, that's my first conference. I was quite amazed to meet people, understand who is who on internet and in real life. I did not got to see all the talk, but I will see them afterward. And yeah, I talked to a lot more people than I thought, and I'm super happy about this. And I did a small lightning talk. I was super shy on the scene.
That's really cool.
I was cut because of time out. I don't know how much of the message passed through to the public. We will see.
How about you?
It was an interesting conference. For me, it's like a new type of conference from what I'm used to. It was nice meeting the people like live, names of people whose libraries are used and discussed online. So it was really cool.
How do you feel like being part of Metosin and attending this
it was
conference?
Amazing. I think there was a lot of love that we got. Right? I mean, all the positive reactions when you mentioned, I'm working Metosin. Oh, awesome.
I hope that this will happen again sometime. Yeah, waiting for the next time to meet people again.
Yeah, and a lot of people remember still Clojure, and we're asking when or if there will be another Clojure. So we'll see what the future brings.
Oh, we have ex-Metosin people here as well.
Hello.
How was your conference experience?
Really good, really good. Like amazing talks and very cool people and great food, and what else would you want?
So what was your highlight?
Oh, my highlight was meeting people from my own company, Hacking Clojure, that I didn't even know.
What was your company?
Otto in Hamburg, in Germany.
Oh, sure.
Yes, and so we were 8 here. Like we went to the pizzeria and he looked at us and said, Otto, and we said yes. That was funny. And some of them I never met before, and that's sort of a highlight that I have to go to Belgium for that. Yeah, and also meeting Eric Normand and his talk.
That was a good talk.
Yeah, and but everything else too. It was like it was just perfect, right? It was a perfect conference. It was cozy in a way. It was relaxed. It was good people all the time. Really loved it.
Oh, you guys got the best spot in the city.
Lucky. Exactly. And the weather. So we're from Griffin. We're a relatively new banking-as-a-service platform startup bank based in the UK. Got our UK banking license this year in February. So I've been there 3.5 years. My role is VP of Engineering.
And I'm a software engineer. I joined a year ago, and I'm working on the ledger side of the business, processing transactions, and writing Clojure in the back end mostly.
How have you liked the city so far?
It's beautiful. I mean, we were checking for places a couple of days ago, and they looked so far, and then we actually checked the distance to downtown. It was like 15-minute walk, so it was great to find like chips and other things. So.
Yeah, and the architecture. And yesterday we went out and had Indian food together, and it was some of the best Indian food I've had in forever. And there was this really nice vibe, and all the, I guess, students. So the streets were just full of people drinking and having fun together.
On a Wednesday.
And I've fallen in love with this place. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, so we both work at Bowers & Wilkins, which is a audio business. We build speakers and connected audio devices, headphones, loudspeakers, and the ranges go from sort of mid-range to like the extreme premium high-end range. And what we do there is we maintain and build the platform, which involves the identity stuff, which is like users logging in, all the analytics, and we also have a lot of music integrations. We keep hold of user interactions with music, and we can produce recommendations based on this type of stuff, which means we're basically providing services a bit like you might see Spotify Discover Weekly is a famous one. So we provide sort of equivalents to that.
But they're platform independent, so if you've got a Spotify thing, or if you've got a Tidal subscription or a Qobuz subscription, we can gather all the likes, your taste profile, if you like, from those services, and use them in conjunction with our music catalogue, which has got 70 million tracks, plus as much information we can get about those, either scrape from the web or purchase from other aggregators. So you can tag all these songs and use all this information to try and produce dynamic playlisting type things.
What do you do outside this stuff? You run a company, right?
I do run a company. It's a very small company. It's called Gaiwan, like Taiwan, but with a G. A Gaiwan is a type of bowl that you use to make tea. It's like a traditional Chinese thing. Gai means the lid and wan means the bowl. And it's what people use if you want to make fancy tea the traditional way. Okay. And for me, that kind of explains what we do. We're not just a company that does this race to the bottom, we'll make your app as cheap and as quickly as we can. But we're very particular about the technologies we use, and with a small team, we can do cool stuff. We also chose the name because, tea is something that you share, you drink socially. And so software is also something that you create with people, for people. Ultimately, it's about the people. And so that's also why we chose that. So Gaiwan is a Clojure consultancy, but yeah, you're part of Metosin. Metosin is...
We're in the same boat.
Yeah, but you're a couple dozen people, right? Or more even at this point.
We're 21 right now.
Right, yeah. So right now, we Gaiwan was like 6 or 7 people up to half a year ago. Right now we're 4 people. So me and 2 other folks are technical, and then I have a co-CEO. But yeah, we're also a Clojure consultancy, and we do a lot of open source. Like, people know us from the open source. We still use the Lambda Island brand for that. So before I did Gaiwan, I made these Clojure screencasts videos under the Lambda Island name, and then I started making open source and releasing it as Lambda Island. And at this point, we have, 20 or 30 different projects out as Lambda Island. Some of them very well known, some of them not very well known. But yeah, that's Gaiwan.
My name is Sverre Lussendal. I work for A1 Digital and Exoscale, doing sales for our infrastructure as a service.
Hi, I'm Max Panet. I work for Exoscale as well. I'm on the engineering side. I'm a software engineer basically there, working on orchestration. Exoscale is using Clojure quite heavily, and we've been from the start pretty much. I think we just celebrated 10 years, like last year, something like that.
We provide infrastructure, that means data centers, hypervisors, virtual machines, object storage, block storage, managed databases and services, everything you need to run your SaaS application, cloud native applications in a highly available mode all over Europe. And our core strength is the fact that we can provide a very stable, very convenient cloud product, cloud infrastructure product, without having to involve multinational corporations, by making really GDPR compliance and data privacy restrictions easy to comply with. So when you're a European company and you have to comply with European data regulations, you can really make it simple by going with Exoscale and not worry about where your data goes.
Hi, my name is Ovi.
I'm a Clojure developer and a React developer, startup owner with a lot of failed startups under my belt, I would say that. I'm based in Bucharest, Romania. I have a wife currently. I'm working on Ship Clojure, which is is a project for Clojure programmers that want to ship a product fast to users. So it's like you want to iterate something very fast, or you want to verify, does this project that I'm thinking about have legs? And you can ship that to the users in 2-3 days, as opposed to taking 2 months, which is usually what it takes you to set up database deployment, a UI library, because if you see like Clojure projects in the wild, the UI is not great.
You can also advertise Metosin if you want. I can hold that.
I'll put it in my pocket. It's fine. My name is Lovro Lugovic, and I'm a PhD student who just a couple of months ago finished my PhD. Originally from Croatia, but I was doing my PhD in Denmark. And I came here yesterday, or well, 2 days ago, for the Clojure conference, Heart of Clojure. So I gave a talk on my little domain-specific language embedded in Clojure for something we call choreographic programming. The tool, the DSL, is called Clore, and this is something I've been working on after my PhD ended in February, so for the last about 6, 7, 8 months, and we presented it. So if you go to github.com/lovro, LOVRO/KLOR, Clore. That's where you can find the project right now. If you just Google choreographies in Clojure, you'll almost certainly find it.
How's the conference been for you today?
It's been very good. I got here Tuesday morning.
Okay.
Early, so I got to walk around a little bit around the city. And I went to Hall 5.
See some workshops.
The first is just setting up on Tuesday, so I helped around and it was nice. I got to.
You got there already on Tuesday.
Yeah, I got here Tuesday because the flights were in the morning. So I came in Tuesday morning and I went and I did some volunteering. So that was really nice. I got to start meeting people immediately. So that's always nice, and people have been very nice. Everybody's very open, very curious.
What has been your favorite workshop or talk so far?
I really like the opening talk.
Okay.
What it means to be open. But everything has been very, very nice.
How did you like the conference?
Oh, it's very nice, friends. I love it. I appreciate it.
What was the highlight of the conference for you?
Of course, was the interaction between people. I think was the most important and the most nice thing from my conference.
What was your favorite talk?
Oh, that's interesting. Like for me, was the last one. There was a lot nice, but the last one was the layers of abstraction. Was really was very nice, the way that they presented to us.
My name is Artem Barmin, and I'm a co-founder and CTO of company Freshcode, and we are doing services, software development services in Clojure for 10 years already. We even started a podcast in Freshcode and asked technical leaders from different products and asked their experience, what they had in mind when they started the product in Clojure, what the drawbacks have they forecasted, and what is really happened later on in the product. And that was really, really curious to hear. And also stories about business side of a Clojure projects, and that Clojure is a competitive advantage in business. And you can create a competitive product with much smaller teams and investors like this. And it's very good for cash flow. And
is the podcast already out where people can find you?
Podcast is not yet out. We already recorded 4 episodes, but we want to have big pipeline to make it smooth. So we should expect first episode in October, I think.
Where people can find you online?
Freshcodeit.com.
Do you want to take a detour from Griffin to Polylith?
Sure, why not? Plug something else. So I was CTO in a company a few years ago. We had a small team. There was a greenfield Clojure project, building a recruiting platform. And one of our engineers who's here with me, not here right now, but he's in the conference, called Joachim, he suggested an idea about how we could do something maybe slightly better than microservices. And in the beginning it had a different name, but eventually it came up with the name Polylith, and it sort of grew and took on a life of its own. So we spent a couple of years in our sort of free time building this as an open source way of building modular software in a way that creates a fantastic development environment as you're building it in one place with these building blocks that feel like Lego, and then choosing which of those to deploy in production in different ways if you need to. But with the kind of the theory that most small startups probably don't need to go full Kubernetes, full microservices day one. They just keep it together, keep it simple, give things good names, and it's really been heartening to see how many people we've spoken to that say, we use that in production and we had no idea. You know, they're not talking on the forum, they're not because it's just working for them. And it's crazy how it's spreading all around the world. So that's been another highlight.
What was the highlight of the conference for you?
I met people which I follow in the digital world, and these are my gurus. So I could speak to them and ask them for some things and so on. So
that's really valuable.
Yeah, it was.
Let small things be small. You know, don't over-engineer the simple thing.
Yeah. I think that goes to what you were saying about frameworky stuff and having different. The thing that comes to mind is having different tools for different kinds of things. Like, it's okay to have Rama if you know that the first thing you're going to do is launch and try to get 100,000 users the first day and 1 million users the second day or whatever. And these things are going to have different requirements, and it's okay for them to be different. But having them easy solutions for each style of thing is quite important.
Yeah, so I come from BSD Unix from way back in the days in the 80s, and one thing that we always would say about everything we tried to build was to make the easy things easy and the hard things possible. Right, and this is really a philosophy you have to keep because it's too easy to make the easy thing easy but the hard thing impossible because you've made a tiny closed thing that only does one thing, or you can make the infinitely flexible thing that makes the hard thing possible but nothing is ever easy with it. But that sweet spot where easy is easy and hard as possible is always where you should aim.
What was the highlight of the conference for you?
I think my highlight was talking to Eric Norman in person. It was quite a nice experience. And from the talks, I really liked the opening from Lou, because it was different than I expected and very inspiring, like sharing stuff that's not ready or polished yet. And I think I should do it. So that's what I'm thinking about since yesterday morning. So what can I do?
So what was your talk about?
Well, my talk is the last talk.
Oh, the last
so I haven't
talk.
done it yet. My talk is about abstraction. Very little code in my talk. It's just a more conceptual idea talk about abstraction as this uniquely human thing that we do that is like very cool, and it's what enables all of the work we do as programmers. So, what can we learn from abstractions developed throughout history, and even where our capacity to abstract evolved from?
Well, that sounds like a philosophical talk.
Yeah, it goes back
Nice.
2.6 million years, my talk.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
I'm Chris, and I came from London this time, and I was talking about full stack Clojure script, so running Clojure script on the back end and the front end.
Did you have a full house today?
It was good, yeah. There was quite a few people, and people were following along, so yeah, it seemed to go pretty well.
What was your highlight of the conference this time?
I think it was probably the live set by Pulu. I just thought that was awesome, and using Super Collider on the old Mac, yeah, it was super cool.
I am Felipe Oliveira. I'm from Brazil. Have been doing Clojure professionally for also 5 years. Love the conference. It's a special vibe. I know there was a lot of effort by the Gaiwan team to make this happen. At least 9 months of work, and I've met some amazing people. Just had like an amazing conversation. So thank you.
What's the highlight of the conference for you?
There were a few, especially the people I've met. But I think the keynote, Lou's keynote, definitely moved me. I am an open person, I like people, but end up being a little bit shy digitally, and I think that was kind of a kick to my face.
How do you like the city?
The city is very charming, beautiful. Haven't had the time to really explore it a lot, but tomorrow I'll have a few hours left, and I will definitely do that.
Hello, I'm Mitch from Prague. So we have just finished the Heart of Clojure here. Very good conference. Come again when it happens again in 5 years.
What was the highlight of the conference for you?
Well, Eric Nordman's like final note. It was really interesting. Like getting the philosophical like level of things. It was really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Martin. I create podcasts and I'm into Clojure because I came in contact with LVH. Please put that on.
Give it up for all those folks.
And we also want to give a shout out to Tony Talks Dev. You can find him on YouTube and Spotify. Great content, check it out.